Hi everyone, Alex here of the Mad Cartographer, and welcome to episode of What a Mad Week. I'm going to be doing a little bit stoppy-starty on this video because I've got to switch between a few different screens, and trying to set it up to do it seamlessly is more effort than it's worth. So what I am going to do is just show you stuff. We're starting with, finally, the Lightning Rail train for Sire 1313. It is now complete. We have some parallaxia maps in Foundry. We've got all the carriages made and walled and everything. They're going to be released in PNGs for people that aren't playing on Foundry. So you can mix and match and make your own maps up. We will do a few prefab maps as well, so you have something to play straight away if you're not particularly bothered about what carriages you have. So there's some really good customization options, particularly the Foundry, which is where we're going to demonstrate everything. We have this parallaxia constantly moving train tile, and we've done a few different settings. So we've got something of a desert in day and night, and then we've got grass day and night. So pretty simple, all the kind of same kind of thing. And then it is literally a case of, for the Foundry players, going to the Actors tab, because these have been made with token attacher, and then choose which engine you want. So you might want to go for a classic, normal one if you're not doing Domains of Dread, so then you've just got your lightning train. And I'm getting messages that's being picked up on my phone, that's fine. If you're not wanting just an old lightning train, you can go with... if you're going with the Domains of Dread, we have two different options. We have an orange one, where the engine itself might be a Dark Lord, and it is the engine that you have to defeat as the boss in some form, I don't know. And then we've also got another version. We have one that's encased in an amber crystal, an amber sarcophagus. So we'll leave that one on for now. As you can see, we can grab these and move them around. Just picking up the sounds in the background. So that's the constant running ambience of this map. They're just on 3 little sound effects there. You can delete them if they get a bit frustrating. Similarly, if your players aren't massively fond of this constantly streaming tile, you can 100% go to parallaxia. You have to unlock it, go to parallaxia, double click it, and then just change this offset to 0, and then we've got it as a blurred version. So you've still got the idea of the movement if they don't want the actual movement on parallaxia. So there you go. And the blurred options, we've got a non-blurred option as well, but they will also be released as individual maps for building up your stuff. So here we go. When you drag on the tiles, everything comes pre-walled. It's got lights on where needed. There's no sounds to any of these because there's nothing... Oh, no, there is one. There's the portal one that has sound on it because nothing else really needed it. But you can pick and choose which carriages you want. You've got some sleeper carriages. You might, you might just want a little short one. So we've got some luggage, and then you could have some mysterious vats. And we can put on quite a few onto this map. There we go. So with the train engine, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 carriages that you can have at any one time. There's different options with this. What you could potentially do is, because you would start at the back of the train, you won't start with the engine first, presumably. I mean, start wherever you want. Hey, it's your map. But if your players are starting at the back and then making their way forward, then you're going to be wanting to add engines in front as they progress. What you could potentially do is, as they reach to this train, essentially, because it is token attacher, you would select the token. Just let me turn this down a little bit because it is a little bit loud, I think. You would reach this, you would then attach the players to it so that you could move them, and then you could effectively, when they're all attached, just drag them back and then add the next carriages in front of them like that. So you could build it like that if you wanted to. Personally, I just have multiple scenes. Once they've got so far have them transition to the next scene with more carriages built up. But there's some flexibility for you if you need it. And like I said, everything has got everything is already pre-walled. When you go in, you got some pretty. I think it's a pretty cool map for an adventure. With the engine cart, well, let's have our guy. He's going to do a big jump. There you go. So the engine cart for this one in particular, for the amber sarcophagus, when they go in, it's a canopy, so they're going to be underneath the canopy there. Just a little extra little something for that map. So this is now ready. This is now out in the update that's just happened. We've still got one more update that we're going to be pushing out tomorrow. It's very last minute, but I wanted to make sure this one got out first. I'm going to flip over to another thing to get that one set up, and I'm going to show you what else is going to be coming out tomorrow, and then looking into what we're doing next month. We've already got a map made for next month, so one moment. This is Navuncha Springs, I think it's called. It's part of Darkon, the dreaded domain, and this was one of two maps that we were going to do, and we're also going to do some other little things that just never happened. Everything just kind of not got away with us, but me being away and then us deciding to do a ton of carriages for the CA 13 that wasn't even originally on the roadmap. Just ended up not being enough time to get the second one done, which was the exploding castle that's frozen in time. I might try and have a go at it at some point, but as ever, we're pretty fast-paced with what we're doing here, so try not to go backwards too much. But this is one that has been done. It's going to be sorted out tonight by me. I'm going to throw it through Foundry, do all the walling, all the lighting, and just make it look even more pretty on top of what Stefan's already done. So this is the Amber Springs. There's this these amber pools, which is very relevant to the dreaded domains, but we have also done a standard springs as well. So these are all blue pools as opposed to these orange amber ones, because out of context it looks a bit more like lava, so it won't necessarily work for everybody. So we've done a blue variant as well. Generally don't do variants, but I felt like for this one it was going to be worth doing it. So that is going to be sorted out. That will be pushed through with the next update, but I'm probably not going to make a video for it now that you've seen it, unless there's some extra stuff that we end up doing tomorrow. Then this is kind of letting you guys know what is going to be in the pack. There is something else that I'm trying to do. We'll see if I get time. I'm not sure. But so that's kind of pretty much going to be wrapping up the Dreaded Domains 2 theme. So let's take a look at next month's theme. Not quite as showy this bit now, because a lot of it is still a work in progress. So we are doing towns and cities, and going from one spa to another one. We have an indoor spa that has been made. So we've already got the first map made for our September theme, and we're going to be doing a lot of town interiors. We did urban exteriors for our second ever theme. Now we're going to be doing a bunch of buildings and locations for your town. Now, one of the things that we're doing with this is we're going to make it into a modular city set. So these are going to be 19 by 19 tiles. The reason 19 by 19 is that we can select the middle tile, we can put one of the rotating discs on it for in Foundry, and it will let you rotate the tile around and position them as you wish. When we did the urban exteriors theme, when I did it, because I was on my own back then, I did them as smaller tiles, which worked for the time, but I did them as 10 by 10, I think they were. And it wasn't an odd number, so I had to put the rotating cog into the top left corner, otherwise it didn't rotate properly. So we've done 90 by 19, and we'll do variations of that if we do slightly larger, i.e. 38 by 38 or whatever. So this is the first one. This is our spa, and as ever, Stefan loves to throw his little elephant into our spa maps. So this is the first one. One of the big things that we are doing this month with this is we're going to make it modular. We're going to be doing tiles, but we're also going to be making individual buildings, some prefab buildings for Foundry that you can drag and drop and put them in to build up your own maps. There'll be different backgrounds and rooftops, so there'll be some rooftop asset tiles for having a normal town and city or a snowy environment, such as the likes of 10 towns if you're running an Icewind Dale campaign. So you'll be able to kind of build up your own stuff from the stuff that we've made. Not only that, but for anybody that has experienced the Wizard's Tower, we're also making a map editor for building up your own towns and building up your own 19 by 19 tiles. So we've only got some quick screenshots here because it's still in production. Stefan's still working on it, so it's kind of all at his end at the moment. It's not really live where I can test it at the moment, but he assures me it's looking great. So it's still a little bit basic at the moment. We're going to be pushing a lot more props into it. We're focusing heavily on making new props for interiors and exterior stuff to decorate your streets and towns. And there's just going to be some cool stuff, and you're going to be able to export as a tile, or you're going to be able to export with just the black transparent PNG, so you can just export individual buildings. If you're keen to use something like token attacher to build up your own drag and drop prefab tiles, then you will be able to do that. Again, when you're building your tiles, then you'll be able to adjust darkness and stuff and make your own day and night tiles. So this is pretty cool. It is going to be the second map editor that we've done. We're already planning number 3 for letting you guys make your own train carriages. We did 19. We wanted to do more. There's still so many more ideas that we had, but again, it's timing. For a lot of what we do, it's getting stuff in place and getting the bulk of it, and then giving you blanks and potentially assets to dress and make your own stuff where possible. But we want to make it a bit easier with these map editors. The Endless Wizards Tower is available to the All the Things tier. The Modular City Tiles is going to be made available to the All the Things tier, but we are going to be looking at putting these into a higher tier down the line. It has been addressed and mentioned a few times, so it's not a big secret, but we are in the process of starting up our second Patreon, and we're going to be launching hopefully at the back end of this year the Mad Astrographer, and we're going to be doing sci-fi and cyberpunk maps. And with that, we're having a top tier where you can support that top tier and you'll get the content from both Patreons. Instead of having to spend the same amount in both, it will essentially allow you to pledge at a slightly higher tier, and you'll get All the Things content from both Patreons. As well as that, we will be putting our map editors into that tier as an additional perk, incentive, bonus, call it what you will. So that's where they're going to go. So for now, you guys are going to be able to enjoy them as and when we make them, but just be aware that in the future they will be getting put into a supporters tier. So there we go. Very excited to see how these go. Obviously, if you guys make some cool stuff with the Modular City Tiles, I believe, as with the Wizard's Tower, we get to see a local version of it. It saves it, and we have access to it. So if we have some cool stuff, then we might even start putting out some extra city tiles and pre-making them into Foundry from the stuff that you've made, some community creations, that kind of thing. So there you go, lots of cool stuff. I'm looking forward to going into next month as ever. I always seem to be excited about this kind of thing. We are going to be looking at taking on another cartographer soon. We've actually not got anybody in mind in this one in particular, so we're going to have it as an open application. If you are interested in being part of the team, if you look at what we do and think, hey, I could make some cool stuff with those guys, then Keep an eye out for when we make the announcement. Everybody will be able to apply, and it will be a full-time position. You'll come on as a member of the Mad Cartographer or the Mad Network team, and you'll be building a bunch of maps with Stefan and I. So if you're interested in that, like I said, keep your eyes peeled to our Patreon announcements. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Any thoughts about anything I've just talked about, then please feel free to mention it in the comments below, or head over to our Discord and leave your thoughts there and get involved with our ever-growing community. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy everything we've got. Hope to see you all next month, and as ever, keep rolling those 20s, folks.